Gamers.
Gamers.
We're here. Hello.
Gamers specifically.
PC gamers. Yeah. I'm waiting. I'm going to say without a doubt, Viddy literally started a timer and is going to say exactly how long we've been gone. Because that's the kind of level of, let's say, commitment that our chat has. But we are here. We have our highlight picks for the PC gaming show, which we watched today and had a really good time with. As always, love the show for its breadth of like niche. And what the thing, and it may factor into my pick today. Making dinner, sure. The thing that factored into my pick today that I feel like was across this whole show was genres that are more systems driven and like more gameplay gimmicky that have a deep narrative, like the game we're seeing right now, which is a very like focused city builder / colony like rejuvenation game where you're terraforming this land that you've ended up in, but then it also has this incredibly deep story. I feel like we saw that a lot today across a lot of the games. It's kind of a genre that doesn't necessarily usually get associated with having like a deep story, having a little deeper of a story. So that's like a really cool thing that I think that this show does often. And I thought it was a fun show. Again, we talked about it after we finished that like it was a little, didn't hit as hard with some of the bits and stuff that we normally really love from this show, but we still came away pretty happy with their presentation. But as always, for us, it's about the games.
Capital G gamers over here.
It's about the games, and today I gave them a challenge of one game to properly spotlight, but was a little lenient and said, okay, two honorable mentions this time, where we do a very quick hit shout out. Yeah, bam, chapow.
Nate said specifically,
but it's
Nate said specifically, only speak the length of the trailer. If you speak 1 second above that,
you can pause it for like a little bit, but
out of here.
But well, see, you're saying like 3 games. I said 1 game, and everyone was like, "What? Only 1?" So, not me, bro. So let's get over to my playlist. Playlist. I wouldn't have guessed VGG was about the games. It's so subtle. True. I mean, yeah. That's what I'm known for, is subtlety. All right. Oh, hold on. Spoiler. I wasn't ready.
Trailer. You got 58 seconds left to speak.
I wasn't ready. Look. I always have to take the opportunity to shout out All System Dance and the incredible folks at Mighty Yell whenever I can. In this game, you take down CEOs, corporations, and the technological island you're stuck on through the power of dance, as Fish is demonstrating. It's incredible. It's an incredible game that we got to go hands on with. If you want to hear directly from, I get Mighty Yell's CEO, I promise he's a good one. He's not like the ones in this game. Go check out our PAX interview and get ready because it's coming out in early access in August. Just wanted to shout it out. Love the folks over there. Love the vibes of this game. Oh, we got some twerking going on. Cannot wait for this. Cannot wait to get our hands on. You know we'll be writing about it. All Systems Dance. So sick. And that is my first honorable mention because always got to shout it out. Always got to shout out. My second.
Look at that.
Welcome, everyone.
It's Blippo.
Greetings, local life forms.
Blippo Plus. I wanted to shout out Blippo Plus because it's this kind of like performance art, live theater thing that we kind of talked about a couple days ago with Anthropology, you know, that really gets us excited and it's something different in gaming. And that's what this is. In its current form, it's airing alongside the Playdate Season 2 release schedule. And it's like this thing where we're hijacking a signal from a far-off planet. And the cool thing is, it's not we're just watching what they're doing. They're aware of our presence. And they're talking about us watching them and kind of like that weird, like, breaking the fourth wall and making you be part of this, you know, this story. And so I'm excited to see, you know, if there's any differences in the content with this PC and like HD release versus the Playdate's 1-bit screen, you know, and excited to re-experience it when it comes out on Steam and on the Switch in fall of 2025. Super excited for that. Just again, live performance kind of FMV things, always on our radar. And as much as I love the Playdate version, and it is super cool to be able to properly see what some of the stuff's going on, it's gonna be super fun. I want to see a behind the scenes all this too. Like maybe they had to consider, you know, like what they're showing and how they, like if they did some like theater stuff, like putting like extra shiny tape or, you know what I mean? Like to really get something to stand out on a 1-bit screen. And then my pick of the show, pick of this PC gaming show is Ambrosia Sky. Let me hit that loop.
Dahlia.
Let me hit that loop and let me make sure it's turned down because there's a lot of dialogue.
But you're going to be fine.
Ambrosia Sky is self-described as a sci-fi clean 'em up. And it immediately caught our eyes because it's got, you know, the clean 'em up genre is kind of like seen as like cozy in the like, you know, power wash sim and now the leaf blower game that's what I was doing before stream today, was playing the leaf blower demo. You know, it's known for like that cozy and satisfying gameplay, but then it's also got this like spooky, oppressive, you know, sci-fi alien shit going on that's really interesting. So I was like, though, that blend of those two concepts and very narrative focused, as I said, the you know, a lot of those games are more about the systems, more about that core gimmick, but this having like a deep narrative on top of that is really interesting. In this game, you're simultaneously cleaning up the alien goop. You're also taking out some of the source of that goop, some of the aliens. There's some shooting going on in this game. I think it's all with that same tool that you have. And then after you're done, you're putting to rest the people who weren't as lucky as you. They show that in this trailer. You come across the remains of the people that lived here. And you're putting them to rest in this way that like adds this like layer of like, you know, kind of melancholic cleaning, you know, like it almost reminds me of I think this is like a business type, and I know Greg Davies of Taskmaster is on a show that's about this, and it's the people that come in and clean after someone's died, and like the family is just too emotionally, you know, connected to go in there and clean it out, and so like it almost kind of gives that vibe a little bit, which is really cool. Yeah, the when I was reading about it, it's even more interesting, as you can see here actually in that last key art shot, is that the main character's returning to her home in the outer rings of Saturn. And so this is so that even adds more emotional stakes, right? Of this is where she grew up potentially, and she's coming back and seeing it in ruins, seeing these people dead that maybe she knew, you know, and trying to clean it up and potentially maybe get it back up and operational. I don't know. That's just such an interesting sci-fi setup alone on the rings of Saturn, you know. The studio's brand new, Soft Rains. They're based in Toronto, and they're built from veterans from Bethesda, Ubisoft Toronto, Riot Games, and they're partnering up with Blackbird Interactive, who are the developers of Hard Space Shipbreaker, which is a very cool sci-fi game as well about, you know, breaking apart and salvaging wrecked spaceships and stuff like that. They're working with them to bring this game to life. Again, they're, you know, new to the indie scene, and so like I like seeing that little collaboration as well. Yeah, just the blend of the calming, cleaning, and potentially frantic survival as you're trying to get in here is just so cool. And again, the focus on narrative with like those
Dahlia,
gimmicky
very
gameplay,
nervous.
systems driven setups is so cool to me. We love to see games emphasizing narrative. That's obviously a big deal for us at VGG, and I'm just so excited to see what this is. It's one of those ones where, yes, I am spotlighting it here in the moment, but I kind of want to just stop and hit end stream because I want to go play the demo, which is out now, as you've probably seen in this trailer looping, saying a few times here. But yeah, I'm so excited to see a new team coming out and debuting with something that looks this cool. Yeah, does the chorus have anything to say?
I can't wait to clean and be spooked.
Hell yeah.
Not much from me, but this was definitely on my short list too of what I was considering picking. And yeah, everything you just said makes me even more excited for it. I love those clean 'em ups.
Yeah. Clean them up. The fungus vibes of this whole thing too is really cool. All right, Fern, you're next
I know
up.
you're nervous.
I'll let you, like, you can start talking about it and then I'll click into it so that the,
But
you
you're
know,
going to be fine.
you don't get cut off too early. Like you know, you can start talking and then I'll hit the trailer. Because you only have the trailer length, remember.
I know.
Ready?
Ready.
Go.
The job's
Okay,
a job,
so
right?
my first game that I wanted to give an honorable mention to is Grave Seasons. I think everyone here is already on top of it. Like, I was looking at the Steam page just now, and I was like, I don't think I even really read all of this when we first saw it. I think I just went to the page and hit wish list.
Sight
and I've been
unseen.
waiting for it ever since. So if you're in that same boat, like, a couple things I wanted to call out, just that have me really excited is that, like, you're unraveling the mysteries here. There's like a supernatural killer on the loose. You're new to town. You can also, you know, do all the farming sim stuff, mining, fishing, romancing. You can end up romancing the killer. And you're
There you
trying
go.
to like use your identification skills to like figure out who's the next victim and prevent them from being killed. You're building trust with the townsfolk by completing quests to try and like solve this whole mystery. You're discovering and crafting stuff to ward off what is stalking the town. That really intrigued me. And yeah, I've just been getting really excited about this and definitely wanted to shout it out. So,
2026.
2026. Let's check it out. Let's
Yeah.
stay on board.
As Scully said, that is a really compelling thing too. That, yeah, they say that like it's different every time. Like the killer is different. So that's a really interesting thing too. It's not like a straightforward thing. All right, honorable mention number 2.
Okay. Honorable mention number 2 is Mandrake. I chose another farming sim.
Uh-oh.
Fucking sue me. So this one is from the Sunless Sea team. And horticulture is like cursed and forbidden in this world, but you come from a lineage of sorcerers who has practiced it. Don't sue me, actually. So you start growing like kind of normal crops, and as you grow your skills, you're growing like weirder, more like mystical kind of stuff. Like they mention a goose tree that grows geese.
Hell yeah.
And stuff that like aids with your farming, you know, that like waters your crops for you. The art style is really beautiful. They have like, you know, all the works of farming sims, and then they also have stuff like you can acquire books and read for the evening. They mention like don't go out after dark. All earthly lights go out when the sun goes down. And you're like not supposed to go outside, so you know, potentially some kind of more horror elements or something there. So pretty cool.
They said the one downside, chat, and I'm so sorry, and especially Scully in chat.
What's up?
No cannibalism in this game. They specifically said that you can't eat people. I'm so sorry. So if you see someone, Scully, and you think I want to eat them, you cannot. I'm so sorry.
That's illegal, actually.
And I guess you're gonna have some legal action in chat. Somebody's suing you. Oh, and your game's going.
Oh my god, wait, okay. Wait, this one doesn't have like a time limit though. Okay,
No,
so,
you're good.
For my main pick of the show, I wanted to highlight Arcane Eats. This ended up on literally all 3 of our short lists because we were all super excited about it. So you are cooking for like fantasy monsters and cosmic entities. You have these 3 different chef options. They all have like a different cooking style. There's also like a forbidden gastronomicon that can influence your cooking styles. Your crafting dishes, there's not like recipes you're using. You're just using, as you see in the trailer, there's like these different cards. And so, you know, you're just trying to meet the demands of like whiny customers and all of their whims. And I really like, you know, just the style, some of the humor. You'll see there's like a little guy named Guy Fawkes in here, legendary chef in this world.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of our classic frame by frame analysis. I like these guys: Fryland, Spudhammer, Anis, the Spice Weaver, and Master Tsunami. Are these potentially like? I guess maybe
characters. I think.
Yeah, characters like character class, or is they? I was like, it's almost given like judge panel. You know what I mean?
These are the chefs. I believe.
Okay. Oh yeah,
they talk about you can fire up hearty meals with the hearth, weave elemental spices with the grove, and master mise en place with the order. Those are like the cooking types that each chef has.
Got some.
And so they each have like their own card sets based on those abilities.
The thing that I'm also interested in, they mention how like Guy Fawkes. I almost said his real name. Oh, look, the flames on the very bottom of his like.
That's how I knew it was him.
The thing that I saw emphasized on their site on their press release is that there's no recipes. It's not like you specifically have to hit like, oh, I need to draw this thing and this thing and this thing. It's you kind of like can mix and match, but obviously, like you said, they have certain requirements. We can see this dish has 3 chili peppers. Guy Fawkes wanted 3 chili peppers. Potentially that's like 3 different types of ingredients there: the stars, the red, yellow, and blue. And you're potentially delivering that, as we see 4 different types down there. And so it is just about like getting in there,
crafting.
And the stomach, I think you have to like hit a certain number, right? You have like hunger points that you have to fill. That's
what makes it so fun, right? It's like it's giving like Hearthstone vibes almost, but like it's food and it's feeding and it's, you know, I'm so excited for like you said, we all 3 had this on our like short list to talk about right now. And deck builders are having quite the few years. Balatro has opened the world's eyes. You know, I think there are nerds like me and Fish and, you know, Infinity Break and Glory that have loved the deck building genre.
We've been on deck builders,
but then like it's so exciting, right? That Balatro, through its purely addictive, you know, format, has really opened so many people's eyes to this genre. And so now games like Arcane Eats and all the other cool deck builders that are coming around now are only going to benefit, right? And only going to have more of an audience to pull on. And like this is totally like such a different game from Balatro, but like people know that innate satisfying gameplay loop now because of it, and we'll be seeking out interesting looking ones like this. And yeah, I'm super excited. We love a cooking game. Obviously we love, you know, fulfilling the needs of our hungry patrons, Cuisinier, you know, all these games out there.
Played up, Cuisinier,
Overcooked. I am curious. Well, let's do one last thing before I go to Fish for your take. This is interesting. Okay, yeah. So they kind of play cards against you too, the patrons themselves, and so they're spreading a nasty rumor that's now going to mess up your pulls and your cards. And
they're like, I saw cockroaches on my table.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's a fun.
That's your meal. You requested that.
That's a fun.
Be grateful.
I did notice like each one had something going on here, you know, up there.
Mhm.
And we see that okay, so the watch is there, how long they're willing to wait before they get frustrated.
Yeah, you're managing time too. I forgot to say that.
And then so I guess you have to fill their bellies before that time runs out is probably the main goal. Yeah, so cool. Fish, what do you got for this one?
I mean, like I was saying before, in behind the scenes, like hook, line, and sinker. Like we love a deck builder, we love a cooking, we love cute characters, you know, we love hot characters, and it just seems like it's gonna be fun as hell. Because like I said, like it's good. It was a good game design decision to not focus on recipes, because it's not like, oh, I need to make, you know, like Guy Fieri isn't asking for a chicken wrap, you know, it's like, so you need to pull chicken and you need to pull, you know, a wrap tortilla or whatever it is. Like it's like you need to fulfill these certain requirements and that's it. How you get there is your choice, your deck to build, and it's not just, oh, I don't need these, I need to build a specific deck for this level or something. It's, I like these ingredients, I like what I got, and I fulfill the needs of the people here. So it lends itself to way more creativity, which is great to hear from you, from Fern talking about it. And we're gonna be in here. Guarantee you that everyone on screen, on your screen right now, chat, is gonna be in there.
I will be there.
A little Arcane Eats for the table, everybody.
Yeah, for the table.
Talk about hot characters, you know what I mean?
I know you.
Guy Fieri's so thick, bro.
Got them wide hips.
The
All right.
birth and hips.
To take us
Please
out.
allow a wide berth.
To take us out, Fish has 2 honorable mentions and pick of the show. So, yeah, and same with Fern. Start talking, and I'll start the trailers.
First game, I feel like everyone here already knows about it on the screen, but some people in chat probably know it. Cloverpit. I saw earlier someone mentioned that it's like, oh, it reminds me of a little bit of Buckshot Roulette. Think Buckshot Roulette plus like Balatro.
Hell yeah.
You are gambling, as you can see on a slot machine, same way as kind of Balatro, but you are trying to pay off a debt rather than trying to meet a number. A roguelite, obviously, and what's cool about it is that obviously there is meta progression. So the more you play, the more you unlock, the more the story progresses, and there are multiple endings. So there are, you know, things to do past, you know, like, oh, I got pretty far in the run, but I'm kind of burnt out on it, or like whatever it is. Like there's still more to do. Which, you know, to me is exciting. I love a meta progression in the game that brings you back. I love a roguelite. There are over like 150 different trinkets and items and stuff. So I feel like even when I play the demo's out right now, you know, just a little blurb on the side there. Go play it, please. If you like Balatro, if you like Buckshot Roulette, that's all I'm gonna say.
I'll say this too. You can piss.
You can piss and poop.
Yeah, they showed.
You can piss.
They showed the piss.
And one last thing.
Go.
If you play the demo and beat it, if you win the run in the demo, you get an unlock for the full game when that comes out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, pissing. I couldn't find the trailer that had the pissing, but that was an older trailer. But yeah, Cloverpit, sick. Okay.
Yep. My second honorable mention. We all were locked in for this. We all, everyone here on screen, loves an FMV game. All of us, despite what people may think, we all also love a horror game. This one seemed interesting. It is Welsh, so we all love that as well. You are a surgeon that was kidnapped to, you know, help out this underwater station. And what's cool about this FMV game, this FMV horror game, is that death is encouraged because it's a time loop. So, you know, you go into the next run knowing more information, so you know how to make these decisions, because there is a moral decision making in this, and we love that about it. And last thing I'll say is there is a streamer mode, so this is a stream friendly game. Cool. They'll remove like the timers and all that stuff, so you can discuss with your chat what you want to do.
That's fun.
And just make it a fun game for everyone, because we all do love it's a single player game, but you know, 15 of us are playing it, or like 4 of us are playing it on a couch. So yeah, coming out September.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love hearing that like they encourage the death. It reminds me of like there are some games that have just like brutal kill animations, and they kind of do that. They're like, yeah, I want you to see, like, especially think of it here, right? Like they're like, we filmed all of these, like, Come on, watch
Yeah, it's
it.
all practical effects too. That's what they.
Ooh.
That's what they make.
I was gonna say that tummy
Yeah.
that looked practical.
Yeah, scary.
Mm.
Alrighty, and now your pick for the PC gaming show.
My 13-year-old pick. For a little backstory, Nate and I, back in the late days of high school, early adulthood, we played a game called Guns of Icarus. It was a steampunk airship fighter PvP, where everyone had their role. So there goes Guns of Icarus Online. After that, they kind of faded a little bit. They put out a bunch of games that we all do recognize, like Ember, which we all played. I think the four of us played this. But they're back with a new game, Stars of Icarus now, which they are, claiming, this is like the full-on successor to Guns of Icarus, which now brings everything to space. Obviously, the art styles changed as well, so it's more anime, kind of a little bit 90s inspired, which is great. We all do love an anime vibe. Cool thing about this, it's also completely no pay to win at all, so everything is unlocked from the beginning of the game. So far they have 6 different ships to choose from, 25 different variations of those ships, with more to come, I can only assume. And this is a 5v5 game, but they said you can play this solo even, because they have like solo ships you can bring into the dog fights.
That's cool.
But for people kind of reading into this right now, they're like, oh, it's a PvP game, I need 5 players, blah, blah, blah. Back then, we still had we had friends who were like, oh, I'm not good at shooting, or I'm not good at flying, like there's no reason for me to play or anything like that. Every role completely different, and you can excel in that role. So there's a role where you're like, I'll go around fixing the ship while you guys fight and fly the ship. I'll clean up around here, or I'll be the scout. And I'll look around with the periscope and all that, and I'll spot things for you guys while you guys didn't. And there's also the fighters. We're like, I just only want to shoot. I don't want to do anything else. You can do that. We're like, oh, I only want to fly the ship. You can do that. So there's something for everyone, regardless of it being a PvP focused game. Other than that, this is a very teamwork focused game if you are playing with people. So it does help that if you are, do know the people you're playing with. So that's something that I usually do in PvP games. Like, I don't really like playing unless I'm with my friends. And it really helps in these sorts of games. Obviously, you can play with randoms and all that stuff. But outside of all of that, obviously customizable characters. It's not completely focused on this competitive PvP stuff. They're saying that they're going to have custom servers where you can just fly around and show off your ships.
That's cool.
Fly around and just be like, oh, look what I can do. Look what I've, built that, in our next fight that we go into later. This is the cool combo I'm going to have with my ship and all that stuff. You can show that off. They also have a space bar where you can have an open lobby. Bar. Yeah, where you guys can all hang out like typical, Deep Rock Galactic, where we can just go hang out, dance, talk, and be like, oh, did you guys check out the new ship, or whatever? Or, oh, I had this cool fight that I did back then in, a little community area where you guys can talk and not strictly be like, okay, let's lock into the next match. Okay, let's lock into the next match. Okay, next match. You can just go hang out, which is cool. I'm super excited for this. Matches are only designed to be around 20 minutes, so it's not like super long, and it's also not super short where you're just like, oh, I just got steamrolled, and all right, next one. But it's also, pretty fun. So coming from two people who played the predecessor to this, 13 years ago, it's fun, and I can only assume it's going to be fun too. Check it out.
Yeah.
2026.
I'm so excited and this was one of those ones that was like, it was one of those it was counted as one of our pop-offs of the day of like, we were just sitting and like, okay, cool, anime, sci-fi, Guns of Icarus, like, wait, I guess it right there, like, we should have been able to, yeah, Blink of Icarus.
I know, I saw of Icarus and I was like, it didn't like click with me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, there's a lot of history, and so that's really exciting. Yeah, like you said, the one of the things I want to see here, yeah, that's so exciting, right, is there are, like you said, so many different roles, right, that you can really get nitty-gritty in, and we're seeing here this potentially like engineer role where you got all this data I'm wondering how far it goes. Like, can we get like a full on, like, you know, we're seeing you repairing what seems to be like the engine core or something like that. And then, yeah, there's this thing saying spooling. Like, is it going to be like, all right, we got a guy, 12 o'clock, you know, Nate, start like charging up the main weapon down there. And they had to run over and like knock on something to like, you know, like I wanted to almost get to not quite that slow, but like some level of the like Star Trek experience of like, all right, the shields, let's get the shields up, divert the power, you know.
You know
like,
that also reminds me of? What's that game we played the beta of like a month or two ago? Where it's kind of like lethal, but not lethal.
Oh, Dark Water?
Dark Water, like that, where we all had our roles. And we're like, I'm gonna go fix the ship, you know, so we just got hit. All right, guy on the boosters. We need someone fixing the boosters right now because we gotta move. Like
the I want there to be just a dedicated radar guy that's like,
yeah,
all right, we got 5 bogeys coming in from the back, you know, like. I am curious too, like you said. I guess you said, oh, so interesting. You were saying like there are 1-person ships, so we see that like
you see
really
right
tiny
there.
one. But then like, so is it a team-based thing? You know,
I'm assuming they say that the games are 5v5, so it might be like there's a team of 3, a team of 2, and a team of like a 1 guy versus, you know, a team of 5, basically.
That's really cool, and I would love that. I want to see that fight. I want to see the 3 ships, the medium, large, you know, 2 mediums, a small versus 1 big giant one. You know, like a freighter. Yeah, no, I mean the potential is so high for this game. Like we know we played the predecessor and we're so in love with it. And the one thing I'm scared of is because Guns Icarus, part of what made it so manageable for us too, was that it was a little slow. Because it was steampunk kind of like ships. This is like really fast, and so like I hope it's, you know, hope we got a good pilot, because it's you know, like it's already getting a little scary thinking about like making those hairpin turns and also managing everything else that's going on while, you know, that's all at that same speed level. It's a little scary, but I'm excited. I guess it depends on the ship you pick too, right? It's similar to like. Something like Sea of Thieves also that has, you know, the different layers of ship, and there's the fast sloop and the, you know, so potentially you don't have to worry so much about the speed when you're one of those bigger ships, which will probably be
hopefully
rocking.
I'm gonna hope they have like a beta or demo coming out at some point in the next few months, just as I want, as much as PvP scares a lot of people, I want people to check something like this out, just because even back then, like, we aren't the distinguished gamers we were, you know, 15 years ago. There was still something for everyone to do. Like everyone still had fun regardless of how hectic it can get.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so. I hope there's a demo, because like you said, there's it's hard to like pull people away from specific multiplayer games, and so when it is just like a multiplayer only thing, then the other fear becomes, you know, the people that do invest. You hop in and you're just looking for a casual play, and you hop in and it's like someone who's been playing this game and this game only for 300 hours, and they're like, oh, we blew up your engines. You're like, whoa, I just got here. Like,
that's what was nice too, that they said that everything is unlocked from the beginning, so there's no like good. The guy's been playing 300 hours, so he has like the best weapons unlocked, and you know you're dead before you even get on you know, in the space.
He has the skills, but the playing field for the ship itself is potentially and is balanced. I do want to, before, because that's our show pretty much. Let's look at this. I want to see this screen. Okay, you got the range, speed, and spread of your guns and
Bombay.
How long it takes to reload. You got there is a lot to read on here. You got point defense, missile lock. So there, you know, you got to be constantly relaying info to your squad, and you know, I want to see if like it's like missile lock, and then someone, you know, the engineer or someone else has to like to like, you know, shoot out the chaff or whatever, you know, to like keep the missile away and whatever.
They got those chaff grenades out there.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, Fern. I don't think we ever get you in on Guns of Icarus? I know it was like a game we always talked about. You know,
I mean, this is even pre-Fern chat.
I was just a baby.
Yeah. Like I said, this is like late high school for us, so this is a long time ago, chat.
I really liked what you were saying about, you know, the different roles. That's always really helpful for me. Like, just makes it feel so much more fun when everyone has like a specific thing they can focus on and get good at. And the like, would you say the battles being like 20 minutes or something?
That's a good length.
That yeah, just that quick in and out. Like, we're always looking for those game nights. Something we can like, you know, do several times and have like a few different experiences in one gaming session. So
Yeah, this is even like a little behind the scenes chat. You know, we do love a little Fortnite. Like, oh, we're tired of Fortnite today. Let's play, you know, a different PvP game where we can just hop in and just just hang out for a little bit.
5. That's one of the biggest.
5 players. That's one thing.
Huge.
Yeah, that's one of the things where we're like, we have 5 people right now.
So many games you cannot play with 5. So 5 in Stars of Icarus plus. Yeah, super excited. Check it out.
It's like the logo. It's like the V logo, the VGG.
Whoa, it's so subtle. Our branding is so subtle. You'll never notice.
And if you look at it, you know, it kind of looks like a V on your hand.
Like a little, like kind of right there, V.
I won't be
VGG.
cut out anymore, says Viddy. I'm the
Oh my God.
I sit out the most, Viddy. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm the first one to be like, all right, I'll sit out.
Viddy's just sowing Discord constant.
Also,
Quit so
before we end the show, the one game that was on all 3 of our lists, just quick shout out,
Oh, yeah.
Railborn. You look
Railborn.
Yeah.
dope as fuck.
Let's go look at that trailer. I mean, we're done here. We're done. I mean, let's just look at it real quick.
Not buying time for a certain email to come through, but shout out Railborn.
Yeah, I'll let you guys. You know, I'll reveal somewhat some level of what you're expecting, and you know, I'll mark down everyone in chat, and they'll get an extra entry.
Hell yeah.
Scully, Bradley, Biddy,
If you're
Sassy.
in chat right now, sound off.
Here, talk about this while I do that real quick.
Roll call.
So, Railborn we saw earlier today. Let me pull up some info real quick. Real quick. We all kind of popped off for this. A little pop off. I'll say a half pop off, a 0.5 pop off. I don't want to give it a full pop off just yet. Kind of like Raft. We all do enjoy Raft, but you're on a train, a little bit more involved, I would say, than a Raft. But you are building your train and going off onto. Okay, that was that message. Okay, 4 players. You know, you also have to take care of your train. You have to distribute water, direct resource flows, power systems, also building it. So maybe, you know, building too big is a bad thing. You know, you don't want to exclusively just build.
I mean, look at this little guy.
Yeah, so maybe that's what you want to do.
The Mini
It
Cooper
looks like
trains.
the Mini Cooper of trains. Give me one. So I just want to check something real quick. Oh, so
No.
that's the end goal. That's what I was looking for, the end goal.
Get to the top. Or...
Take your train up to the ultimate track, rising into space.
Whoa!
So we're trying to get,
hell yeah.
we're going out of here, brother.
Space elevator, dude. So that's exciting if there is like potentially like it's, you know, it is some amount of procedurally generated or randomized to an extent. If there is like a proper end goal, then it's like, well, that was a tough one. Let's go again. You know, like let's do a new run and see what we can run into.
Yeah, or even getting like a late game, like, oh shit, we gotta prepare for you know, lack of oxygen or something.
One of the things that I liked in this trailer was the when they run into the.
I want to talk about that little guy.
The little guy. Yeah, let's go see him. Let's go see that little guy again.
Sorry, I didn't cut you off, but I just saw him and I was like, I want to know what's going on with that guy.
No, there's that segment where there's like the heavy snow and you have to like install the like plow at the front. It's really cool. Like just like that level of, you know, consideration at every step of this journey that, you know, like you have to, it's giving in the survival crafting games we love. It's like, oh, you have to like get warmer clothes in the winter time. Here it's, oh, I got to equip my train a little bit better in the winter time. Yeah, this is a fun little scene where they show like kind of like the difference between these
greenhouse.
different train cars, and then the little bar kind of like vibe.
Mm-hmm.
This game
Looks
has
like a
it
storage
all,
place too.
dude.
I like the idea, you know, like, and we think about when we build, like, when we play some of these games that have like a base, and it's like, hey, where are you? I need to show you something, and you're like, oh, I'm in the bar, oh, I'm in the garden, and you like run through the train cars to go check.
I'm in the aquarium looking at the fish.
Yeah, no, this looks pretty sick. It's got a lot going on. That's really exciting.
It also looks like a different path to take, like it's not just
yeah.
a railroaded through the game, you know.
I wonder if you can have multiple trains. Like maybe that's something like you have to like go on a separate path on a little guy, you know? And maybe that's why it's a little guy, because it's like it's like a scout train, right? And you have to go do something over here and then come back to your main train.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, looks
Maybe,
cool.
we don't know.
It was on all of our lists, and so it makes sense to make some time for it because it looks super sick.
Yeah.
And that does it for the reactions.
That is the PC Gamer Show
That is-
after show.
That is the
after
SGF
party.
live reactions.
That's all, folks.
That's it.
That's it.
We of course will be back. Let's go to the other screen. But am I missing? I'm missing on this one.
Oh,
There you go. We will be back tomorrow around 5-ish for our finale, where we'll be just recapping, potentially showing off a little highlight video. Don't expect too much because my brain can't handle complex edits, you know what I mean? But I'll try to fit in all the fun bits that we had. Every time I say that though, people are like, that was fun, and I'm like, I literally just put clips together. Like I didn't even edit. But
oh my
yeah, we'll
God.
doing that and awarding our best of show. Wow, Viddy. Wow. Sewing Discord truly, but yes, you should be going over to Viddy's a year
Pull up
affiliate.
both streams
Side
side by side, as we should be.
we we'll be doing that, and it won't be, it's not going to be a long thing. And then we're on the writing grind, so keep an eye out. Please go check out the site, read the articles, because there's so much we got going on these days, and Steam Next Fest is coming up, and I have 100+ demos downloaded already, so get in there because there's gonna be lots to talk about.
Yeah.
I think we already know a few games that like we're just already going to go out of our way to spotlight. So
Mhm. And our coverage for yesterday's shows, which we're getting up soon, and for today, I think are going to be fairly
Game
focused
focused.
too. So I know people always like to do a little bit deeper dive, see like what kind of games caught our eye. So expect those as well.
And go check out the Steam event page. Every
For
game
all
that was
the
shown
games,
probably
yes.
was
Wishlist.
going to be wishlist. You guys may not think about it, but wishlists do help the developers. So if you're like, oh, I'm interested in that game and I'll check it out later, whatever, wishlist them right now. You may not. It's just one button. You don't have to think about it later.
And on top of that, like I'll check it out later. You might forget. Our
Mhm.
brains are broken and mush. So you might forget. It's so easy to just go and wish list, and then you'll get notified when it comes out, when there's some new info. And yeah,
It goes on sale.
Yeah, exactly. Like Fish said, it is huge for what it is. The I think biggest for is visibility on the platform over at Steam. And so when you see those new and upcoming popular trending, those are games that have a lot of wish lists. And when indies are competing with some of the biggest new releases and stuff like the Oblivion remake happens, right? And suddenly these games are like struggling for attention. That's where the wish lists come in.
Yeah.
And you can make a difference.
And it's just wind in their sails too. Like
Yeah.
after these events, we always see,
They're like, bro, I
really
got
small
thousands
events being
of
like,
wish lists.
Yeah, I just got thousands of wish lists in the last 24 hours. This is amazing. Like it just keeps people going, to support their work. So
And
And
chat,
just take part. Take part in the communities too.
Yeah.
Like even you'll see in one of the honorable mentions from yesterday, like they just like, here's a clip from people saying "Gourd morning," you know, like it's just simple things like that. People that led devs now, like just like people just like being recognized for what they do. Small things like that that you think like, it's just a message, or it's just a tweet, or it's just a post on Blue Sky, or it's just a little thing, a little blurb. They read it most of the time. You know, the smaller indie devs. And you know they appreciate it, just like you would appreciate if someone said something about you. They appreciate it just as much.
Exactly.
And in a week, and that's why we like go out of our way to, in all of our coverage, we still try to find a way to like specifically call out certain games because, as we've mentioned, right? I think what's the final total? Probably upwards of. We'll go over all our betting special as well tomorrow. But 400 plus.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're the one, you have your one game, and you're like, I hope someone noticed me, and then you go out of your way to be like, I noticed you. That it's like, oh, I'm so excited to work on this game now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember last year's building relationships. Tan was like tweeting and posting about how like I think right when they were featured in Day of the Devs was like days after quitting their day job. And focusing on the game full force, and like how that presence and the wish lists and the comments and everything like really got them invigorated to work on the game and get it to finish, you know, get it to the finish line. So yeah, you never know. This industry is so fucked, and you know, people are getting laid off all the time, and projects that sometimes sadly projects we see here don't even make it to the finish line because of lack of funding or lack of support. And so like again, to bring it all the way back, when a studio can come and go, look, here are the number of wish lists I have, can you give me some money?
It's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, you being part of that can really help them, you know.
Yeah.
And
I mean, real world examples I just thought of, like recently, like what yesterday, the dev of Piss Off that, you know, saw Nate's reaction to the game coming out and was like, this is the biggest compliment I could have received just by saying, you know, AI couldn't recreate this. Or last year when I talked about like the war in Chiapas, one of the devs literally reposted me talking about it when I was just talking about it. Like it was just one of my highlights from the show, and they're like, wow, thank you for saying all this, and thank you for recognizing what this means and everything. And it's just like, those things stick out to the devs, and they, like Nate's saying, like reinvigorate them to keep working on the game, to push it out more and get people talking about it. So it's always good to, smallest things for people like that, for people like us, go miles and miles.
This industry is losing incredible artists every day, and they're choosing to stop being part of this industry because it's so fucking destructive and it's just ruining, you know. We saw the fucking AI at the Green Games show, you know, like there's just so much that's going so wrong that yeah, what we can do to keep some of these beautiful artists going, keep some of this beautiful art coming, please do it. Please just support games, because it's what we love, and video games are good.
Yeah, and if you don't, we're all going to be end up playing Call of Duty, because that's all that's going to exist.
And then we're all going to be wearing those hats. Any last words?
Video games are good.
All right. Let's see if there's any raid potential today. And we'll be back again tomorrow. We'll probably go raid video. Oh, you finally saying something nice in chat, Viddy. We'll probably raid Viddy tomorrow.
He's not even live.
No, I'm saying tomorrow.
Oh, okay, tomorrow.
I'm talking about tomorrow. Viddy tomorrow. Whoa.
Oh,
who was that?
I don't like that.
Hello, stranger?
Ooh. A friend that we've been seeing around more often. Let's go raid JoJo's Story, who is currently doing some art. Let's go see before I bring you all over. What the hell? It's telling me to tell Viddy happy affiliate anniversary already.
you're not even live. What do you mean?
What the hell, Twitch? Uh-oh, Viddy, did you pick the wrong day?
No, it's usually like a few days before and after that it like starts doing that. It's weird.
Ooh, doing some really nice art. With
Beautiful.
JoJo Story's, well, the thing that I love about JoJo Story's stream is the the cool paper VTuber. So we're gonna go.
But also, quickly, keep an eye on the Discord. The thing we talked about earlier. It is
I'll just say,
important, and it is.
It is a giveaway that we were waiting on.
Yeah.
And you will be able to be eligible. But again, I marked the people that are here down, so you'll have extra.
Yeah, it's written in. Yeah, you'll get extra entries, but it is because we were a PC gaming show partner.
Yes.
So just keep it on the Discord, please. We'll tag you guys probably, people, everyone. But very cool. That thank you PC gaming show. But keep it on the Discord.
Just wasn't ready yet.
It just wasn't ready. We were waiting. We're buying time, but email hasn't gotten there yet. But keep it on the Discord.
Just with the tone of what we were saying, I got a raid message as we go over to JoJo's story. Love artists, so show love for artists everywhere that you possibly can, and that's what we're gonna go do when we go raid JoJo's story. Appreciate you all for coming out.
Happy Pride.
See you tomorrow.
Happy Pride.
You probably won't see us for a bit. We might.
We're gonna go crawl into a cave.
We might try to do a Steam Next Fest stream, maybe.
Maybe.
Because
I'm doing Steam Next Fest stream, bro.
Honestly, the Steam Next Fest streams are for us. It's often like it's an excuse to play some of them because we're so busy otherwise that doing it on stream is at least like a reason outside of just sitting and So potentially. Yeah. Again, please go to the website, support us as well. We are also part of that. Come support us, please. And
thank you to VGG for bringing me along again.
Of course, always.
And freaking shout out to Fish.
Shout out to Fish.
As much as people like to think I am just a humble guest here.
You're
like, who's your favorite VGG
you remember the game
crew
show?
member?
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's like Fish. I was like, I don't know. I'm just here, brother.
All right, let's go to JoJo. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you over there, and we'll see you tomorrow for our finale.
Yeah, come back tomorrow, 5 p.m. PST.
Bye.
Bye.
And cut.